In this video, I'm doing a full tutorial on how you can list your property on Airbnb. So stick around.
Once again, here we go. Know the name, know the flow. Turn me up a little more.
All right, guys. So first step, of course, is going to Airbnb.com and you have to sign up for an account. Now, I already skipped that step because it's super easy. So it's just going to ask you for name, email, phone number, and a photo of yours and your driver's license. So you need to add that in there. So again, I recommend in another video of mine, before you start as a host, you should start as a consumer and book at least one place and just experience how that works out. So it's important to do that first because it's going to give you the idea of the Airbnb experience, what other people did or what other people didn't do, and you can do it. You know, so I'm pretty sure you get the point. It's important to actually understand the process from both stands instead of just going and becoming a host for the first time. All right. So I'm going to log in real quick. And again, I just did this. It's a fake account. So don't do that. I mean, don't create a fake account. I'm just doing it for this purpose because if not, I won't be able to do it. So let's assume you became just a consumer on Airbnb. And first, just try to book a place especially ideally, actually, it would be to book a place in your local area. So ideally, let's assume you have a plan of renting your property or renting a couple bedrooms or your living room or, your basement, whatever the situation may be in a specific area. I would suggest that you first sign up as a consumer and book a spot in that place. I mean, not in the same place. Book a time, book a day in another property so you can see how is everything set up in that place. So let's assume I'm looking for Boston, Mass, and I'm looking for stays, homes, boutiques, hotels, whatever, right? So the moment you click on this, is going to give you an idea of a few things. Number one, listings and photos. So, this one is $86 a night. It's spacious and modern, close to subway and downtown. And they have some stars, emojis in the title. This one, it's $105 a night. It's the entire apartment. Well, actually, it's a studio. So, and this is, go and look at the photos. This is very, very important. The photos will plays a big role in how many people are actually going to book your apartment. Okay, so look at that. Look at what they have in stock for them. See how everything looks like on their end. See the reviews, anything that comes to mind, and then keep going through the first couple listings, especially the ones, especially 10 to 20 that show up in the first on the first search, right? And I'm actually talking about this in a different video. Understand why that place grabs your attention, like why it makes you stop. That's really, really important because what grabbed your attention most likely is going to grab somebody else's attention, right? So you want to play that. You want to play that card. Now, you do all this. You can also look at the map and see what are the price ranges for this area. You can change a couple things in here. This is a work trip. All of a sudden, if you travel for work, you can click that. You can click for instant book. Listings you can book without waiting for host approval. That's a thing that you'll probably understand more once you become a host, because that's a pretty interesting feature that Airbnb has. And they kind of push the listings that allow people to book without actually having to get approved by the host. And then, of course, hit this button that says become a host. So Airbnb, at first, it'll tell you learn about hosting your home. Actually, let me click on this to see if they change anything. So they give you a few things in here. How much money you can earn. Let's say, what did they tell us? If we can put, this is a lie because our listing gets anywhere between $7,000 to $10,000 a month. And I'm going to show you that in there. For some reason, so take this with a grain of salt, but don't take it, this is not accurate. I'm going to show you my actual Airbnb backend, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. All right. But anyway, so let's go into the app and sign up as a host, because that's what you want to do. Now, the moment you sign up as a host, it's going to, well, before you actually sign up as a host, you need to have your house photos ready to go. But let's assume you already did that, and we're gonna skip that step, meaning that you should hire a photographer. You should not be cheap and try to save $150 or $100. Go on Thumbtack. So for example, let's thumbtack.com. It's an app, and tell her you need photographers. Photographer, what do you need actually? Real estate photographers. You'll say that it's a residential, whatever the house square footage is. You don't need a drone now. So all of a sudden, Thumbtack would give you a bunch of, so of course you need to scroll in here. So you're gonna see a couple places, even the ones that don't have the price in here. Well, I consider those way smarter, because at least that can get you on the phone with them. But nonetheless, now it's about you. It's not about them. So just start talking to a few people and explain them what you need, and tell them that you need photos for your Airbnb listing, so they know that the place will be furnished. And again, just take some examples from other, oh, by the way, this is because it wasn't signed out. So as you can see in here, let's randomly pick a month. So all of a sudden, June got us $8,000. But again, this is revenue. It's not completely, it's, we have expenses out of this. It's the mortgage, because it's a brand new house. I mean, not a brand new, but it's a house that, this amount pays the mortgage, pays the expenses, and you still get the rest is, of course, roughly around, so $2,500 is the mortgage. Expenses, you got cleaning crew, you got the electricity, you got the water, and all the rest. I would say probably another, so anywhere between 30 to 50% out of this amount. And of course, this is before taxes. So if you actively use it as a business model, so you can actually build, you'll be able to get a credit. But that's, again, this is not a training just about that. But I want you to look, because Airbnb sometimes, so May was even more. March was actually the second month that he went full time. So March was actually pretty low. But then you see April went up. April went down. But May, boom. June, boom. July, and this is still not done. But you can see in here that it can become a really lucrative business model, right? So Thumbtack, you pick your photographers. The moment you have all your furniture and everything in the house, you pick your photographers and you go. You don't wait a second more, okay? So list your place. You hit this button right here. So it's literally just follow the steps from Airbnb. First, let's narrow things down. What do you have to rent? It's an apartment, it's a house, it's a secondary unit. Like, for example, in my scenario, the moment that I add our second unit, which is probably about 3 weeks from now, I would click this one, right? But let's say you have a house, select property, whatever it is, lighthouse, bungalow, cabin, whatever it is, list that. You have the entire place. It's going to ask you, because again, depending how did you get to this video, if you watch any of my videos, I talk about, are you going to rent a private room? Are you going to rent a shared room, like a living room? Like, so for example, some people rent the living room with a pull-out couch, and people can actually sleep over there. But living room is shared with the rest of the people that book the house, that book the rest of the bedrooms. Does that make sense? So keep that in mind, depending on what's your game plan. Are you planning to just make some, couple $100 more per month by just renting out one of the bedrooms? And again, you have to be okay with people coming in and out of your place. Like, you have to be okay with that. And so in this scenario, let's say entire place, is this set up as a dedicated guest space? Yes, it's primarily set up for guests. Are you listing on Airbnb as part of a company? No, that doesn't sound like me. Or actually, you should click yes, I work or run a hospitality business. It's just not Facebook. Airbnb will understand that you have knowledge in this. How many guests can your place accommodate? List that. Ours gets 12. How many bedrooms can guests use? All 5, right? How many beds can guests use? All 6, because we have in one bedroom 2 guests. Add the number of beds in the bedrooms, right? So add beds. What is it? A double, a queen. I go through every step of these things, common spaces. You have a sofa bed, you have a couch, you have a floor mattress. Add another bed, whatever it is, hit next. How many bathrooms? List. You have 1, you have 2, you have 1.5. Where is your place located? So actually, we can detect your so 123 Main Street, 123 Main Street in Boston, Mass. Again, this is a fictive listing, so make sure you put your complete address in here. Hit next. Boom, your address is listed on the map. That's right. What amenities do you offer? I would select as many as you can. Don't lie, of course, because if not, people will complain if you say that you have Wi-Fi and you don't. So just add. What do you got? You got heat, you got air conditioner, you have breakfast, coffee, tea, fireplace, iron, hair dryer, private entrance, whatever it is. Is it a smoke detector, first aid kit, fire extinguisher, locking on bedroom door, right? Add as many as possible. What space can guests use? Washer, dryer, parking, gym, hot tub, if you have them, right? Set the scene. Now, you need to add your photos and add a short description. So I'm going to see if I have a photo. Actually, the photo of the house may not be available right now. Let me take a look. It's probably, yeah, I'm just going to do this real quick. I'm just going to add one photo so you get the point. This is, and add a caption for every photo. Boston, living room, sofa, of course. This is a boat in the Philippines, but you get the point. Hit next. Add as many photos as you have. I would say at least 2 photos per room. So the moment you add all the photos, hit next. Describe your place to the guest. So what's the easiest way to do that? Go to other guests, go to other listings, and see the description of that place, and just copy it. And then, of course, let's see where. So just copy the entire description, come to your notes, and start making changes, right? Like, what do you have different? And inspect a couple of the listings. Don't just get one and then go with it. Add a couple of them and then change in there, and then start talking about your neighborhood, getting around, availability, full month to month, or full 365 days a year, your neighborhood, Medford, Mass, and just write a few things about it. Getting around, restaurants, cinema. What is it that people can actually do in your area? And then hit next. Oops, we need a description. So of course, our Medford property. Make sure, of course, you write a really good description, because description with the keywords in the description is going to help you stand out. Listing title: beautiful, cozy, sun-kissed home. And just add some emojis maybe, right? Hit next. Get ready for guests. Additional requirements. If you have, do you need an ID submitted to Airbnb from the guests before you actually, that's totally up to you. Now, keep in mind that these things, the moment you add them, of course, it's going to make your property much safer, but it's going to push you down a little bit in the, searches. The reason for that is a lot of people that sign up for the first time for Airbnb, they won't know that they have to add their driver's license. So you're going to lose out on those. I would suggest at least the first 2 months, don't make these requirements. If you don't feel safe without them, add them, do your thing. But keep that in mind. It's just a matter of the ease of use of the app for the consumer. That's what Airbnb cares. You hit next. Set house rules for your guests. Is it suitable for children, for infants? for pets? No. Smoking allowed? No. Events or parties? No. Quiet hours? 7 p.m. to 8 a.m. Quiet hours. So make sure you add that, right? Must climb stairs. Explain people what's, if you have pets on the property and you're just going to share one bedroom, tell people that, because the moment that they get there, and if they're allergic to pets, you're gonna, surveillance. Do you have cameras over there? List them. Hit next. Hit next another time. How your guest will book. You understand. Successfully hosting starts with an accurate calendar. Got it. You just need to select that. Two questions to get started with your setting. How have you rented? Just say I have. How often? As often as possible. Now, keep in mind that if you put part-time, of course, if you put part-time in the same, let's say me and you, we buy the same property, we list them both at the same time, we have the same quality pictures, great furniture, and you say, I want to do it part-time. I say, I want to do it as often as possible. You're going to lose in front of me in terms of the search visibility, right? So getting things set up, and in literally just a few moments, you'll be able to list minimum one night at first. Max, I won't put any max. You want to connect another calendar with your Airbnb, so you can connect your Google Calendar, you can connect your VRBO if it's another app, so you can connect your calendar with whatever. Hit next, you can block the amount, whatever. Base pricing, let's assume you started 300 as a base price, minimum 200, maximum 350, let's assume. Hitting next, you have an offer. Once you publish your listing, you won't be able to add this offer. So the first 3 guests will get 20%. This special offer can attract new guests. So list it. If that's the case, just list the 20%. You need to complete the fields to progress forward. Please select an option. Yes, offer that. Hit next. Weekly discount, 5%, and then you can make monthly discount. You can make it at 10%, for example, and hit next. Based on your settings, here what you should expect. You're available to host starting 28. Guests who meet Airbnb can instantly book. Blah, blah, blah. Guests send messages. Okay. Hit next. Finish. And in literally 10 minutes since we were here, I don't want to hit publish. The moment I hit publish, this will actually go live. And this is a fake listing. It's not in the calendar actually. So I don't want to, create some sort of weird stuff in the Airbnb algorithm, but you get the point. So it's important to, for example, stop this video, pause it, go back a couple times, play it a few times, because guys, this is a great way to make some extra income and you don't want to miss this out. All right, guys, so if you like this video, don't go anywhere, because in the next one coming up right here, I'm talking about the Airbnb business model. So don't forget, hit that like button and subscribe, and don't go anywhere. Start watching the next video coming up right here, and I'll see you over there.